Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
I unmuted you guys, so because we only have about 9 of us here, which is great. I'm Dr. Debbie Silveria, and I'm going to see if we can have some fun. Those of you that are on computers or whatever, I'm going to share my screen with you. And while we wait just for a minute, I asked you on my whiteboard there, how are you feeling about working remotely? Do you guys see that?
Yes.
And you can go into the top of your screen and hit annotate. And then a little menu bar comes up. And if you go over and hit the text button, do you see that there? Then you can just click on the text button and then click somewhere on here and then right here. So you can click on text and then you can come there and then you can write sad, mad, happy, whatever. As we get into the Zoom world, okay, we can kind of write down some of your feelings while we're waiting for people to come in. Welcome, welcome, everybody. There we go. Lonely. Get this one down. Yep. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, there, I got you. Anybody else have any emotions about that? It's anonymous. Don't know who wrote it. It's okay. The F word feelings, right? I'm going to ask you another question in my text here. What do you want to learn from today? Okay, you can either type in on the whiteboard or type in chat. Because we are kind of a small group, and so therefore I can answer the questions for you. I'm so happy to see all of you. You guys all muted yourselves. You're so used to being muted, right? And Zoom, the presenter says, mute. I want to hear you. How to connect with coworkers while working remotely. Great. We will talk about that. Okay. I'm going to stop the share and we're going to go back. Okay. Sorry, Jesse. How you wrote on the screen, and we'll get a chance to do it later, is you go up on the top and you hit enable annotate, and then a screen will show up, and you type on the T for text, click it, and then you type on the whiteboard and where you want to write, and then you can write in the text. Okay. Afterwards, I can kind of show you and run you through it if you like to. Any other questions? You guys don't want to say what you wanted to come and learn from today, but you're all here, all 20 of you. Wonderful. I will monitor the chat. So if you want to ask me any questions, how you do that is you click on the bottom of your screen on the participants window. What will show up on the right-hand side is all of the participants. There's a little blue hand there that you can click, and it puts a little blue hand up by your name, and then I will call on you. There's also a yes or a no. If I ask you questions, you can poll in and answer yes or no. The little coffee cup is I need a break, but we're only on for an hour, so hopefully that will be okay. All right. So you can write in the chat. If you have a question, you can go over to your participants window, click on the little blue icon for raise your hand. Okay, got it. Yes, we want to learn new techniques. We are always Zooming and learning things. I am now going to share my screen with you.
Yeah, I think that was our original. Yeah, that was our original.
Okie dokie. All right, let's look at remote working and tips to make your workday better and avoid complacency. Okay, in that little participants window, you can click and you can say yes or no to these. Have you been experiencing excessive stress because it feels like you are working more? What do you think? Sure seems that way to me. My day goes by and oh my goodness, I can't believe that I've been sitting in front of that computer for such a long time. And sorry about that. There we go. And my goodness, my day's gone by. Is there increased meetings and email traffic? Sure is for me. Okay. Oh, there we go. I haven't had so many emails bombarded. My relatives, my family members are asking me things. Colleagues are asking me things. And what is it? Was Thursday? What day of the week is it? I'm not able to know. Is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Somebody asked me what I did for the weekend. Is this Tuesday? Is it Monday? Our whole routine, because of pandemic comes from the Greek word pandemos, which means all of us. We have our whole routine. Kids are at home, our spouses are at home, the usual routine of getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, getting ready for work. We're in our homes. I had, for example, my husband and my 24-year-old daughter came back for a while. And so I had some of my stuff in my computer in my office, and then they'd use it. And then some of my stuff was on the dining room table, and I was all over the place. I am a psychologist. I have a PhD, but I have lots of other initials. I have ADD, I have OCD. So my ADD brain, okay, was getting squirrel, 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 squirrel. And I would be so exhausted because I wasn't used to this new way of working. I'd get up from the chair, I'd be a little bit stiff, my neck would be stiff. I'd notice that after about 3 hours, like I said, I hadn't even taken a break. Some people, I know I have a friend that worked at Google, and they said, well, if you want to, take off and not come to work if you're non-essential. Well, that was a very bad way of sending out an email to people, because who wants to say I'm non-essential? So people wanted to work. So, so many more reasons. Okay. So those are ways that we are managing the stress. The other thing about the COVID is that nobody is at baseline or at zero. People were worried about themselves. They were worried about a loved one, or you're worried about finances. Now, in addition to that, because of the COVID, there's been all of this protests and unrest, which I personally think came out of because we were at home, because we were all feeling a little bit vulnerable, people were able to connect a little bit more with the vulnerability of others and had some space and time to think about things. So there's a lot of emotions that are going around right now. As I said, our whole routine and everything like that is causing us to have stress. Stephen Covey wrote about an emotional bank account. And just like you have a personal bank account, like, we live down here in Southern California, and a while ago it rained a lot and my roof leaked. And so therefore what I did was I had to take $1,000 out of my savings and fix the roof, or out of my checking. Now I was able to do that because I had some money in the savings to put into the checking, so I didn't go into the red. What's going on now with the pandemic and the protests, there is $1,000 or more, I would say, withdrawal on our emotional bank account. And we don't want to go in the red. We don't want to be reactive. We don't want to get out of balance. And so the answer, my friends, is to put some deposits in your emotional bank account. And it really is about self-care. And us in the service field, we are used to taking care of others instead of ourselves. And so therefore, we have to really take some time to do self-care. If you're on an airplane, I hope we get to fly again someday. I miss flying. That's one of the things I miss. There's a little grief going on there too for me, and sadness. When the flight attendant comes on and she says, if there's a reduction in cabin pressure, well, who do you put the mask on first when they come down? You have to put it on yourself, because you can't help the person next to you or the child next to you if you can't breathe. So this is a time, really, it's an existential time for us to stop and pause and do self-care and recreate a new routine, because we are building the plane while flying it, with this sort of remote work. So with that, let's get some tips to help you manage your day. You have to take some breaks. I try and run very much on time I'm back to back, I'm a therapist, I'm doing webinars and I'm seeing clients, and I try and break it up so that I don't do all clients, all webinar, but it's webinar, client, maybe a client on the phone, maybe a client on Zoom. But you have to take breaks. Give yourself at least a 10-minute break if you can, if you're working a 50-minute hour. Move around, change positions, okay? And as I said, get up and wiggle. I don't know if you can see me, because I get up and just do the wiggles, okay? You can't just be a little bit silly with yourself, okay? And then even take your arm up like this, stretch to the right. You might want to do it right now. Take that phone over there. You don't need to see me, although I'm getting used to seeing myself so much. I'm in Orange County. Then to the other way like that, okay? And then stand up and do the same, shake out your legs during the day. There was a joke that came out that said that people, when they came out of quarantine because we're overeating, what's the first place that we're going to hit? Is it going to be Overeaters Anonymous? As you might have heard, alcohol consumption's come up. Is it going to be AA? Well, I got to tell you, I thought I was going to be the only person in Orange County that didn't have Botox, but I am so tired of looking at myself. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I want you to know about Zoom. When you go into Zoom, and as you know, I have a backdrop here, you can put in a backdrop that you would like. I played around with Google. Just put in the search bar, beautiful offices, and I'm playing around with different ones to put at the backdrops. If you do go down, I know a lot of you are just on phone or you just have your name up there, so you don't want to be seen on the Zoom. But if you go down to that little camera on the bottom of your toolbar on the left-hand side, and there's a little arrow that points down. If you hit on that, and then you hit on, I think it's view. I'll have to look because I can't do it right now. But you can actually go into the visual, and there's a click to sort of Photoshop or fix my appearance, and make sure that that's checked so you look kind of nice on screen. Get outside. One of the things that we hear a lot about with the COVID is, of course, getting a vaccine and being tested. And those are all other outside things that we're taking care of. But I really don't have control of that. What I do have control about is me, the host. And one of the things that we know that the COVID doesn't like is it doesn't like people that are hydrated. So you want to drink plenty of water. Vitamin D comes from the sun. So go outside, get some fresh air. Remember to eat healthy meals in the kitchen, not at your desk. Resist the inclination without that routine already set in to just snack at your desk. Okay, go eat in the kitchen. Go sleep in the bedroom, not on the couch, in front of the TV. As I said, healthy meals, healthy stacks. Drink plenty of water and stretch. I stretch every hour on the hour because of the sitting position. Look at yourself ergonomically. Over Amazon, they have standing desks that you can get, so you can stand, put it up on your desk, move it up, and then sit down at other times. There's also a little foam pad that you can buy that you can put under your feet, and you can kind of walk around, and it increases your circulation. These are all different ways that you can adapt to working virtually at home so that you can be better as a result of it. Keep informed with the news, but don't get sucked into it. Remember, your news stations want you to watch so they can sell advertisement so that they stay in business. Sometimes the information is conflicting. It's about uncertainty. It's about unknown, which causes our brains to focus on that and causes an increase in anxiety and in frustration. So 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, 20 minutes during the day. You need to stay informed, but don't be watching it and watching over and over and over types of things, okay? Keep in touch with your friends and family and socialize. You can, those coffee breaks where you would meet people in the kitchen, okay? Or in the break room, we're missing those, as somebody asked me to do. We'll build them in. We are building the plane by flying it while we're flying it. And we now have to restructure our day. It's like, remember when you were in school, in high school, grammar school, first period, second period, third period, you had your schedule, same routine every day, recess, lunch. You didn't have to build in. You got in the car, you drove, this is your parking lot. Well, now everything is out of balance. I had a client who, when this started, he got up and he would drive his car around the block, come in and pretend he was going to work. And then when at the end of his workday at 5 o'clock, he would go outside, get in his car and drive around the block so that he could get that ritual of my day is done, it's over. Okay, so you want to have a ritual of beginning and ending work. There's Google Meetups, there's Zoom. You can arrange to socialize with family and coworkers. Just put it in that schedule. Build that noon 12 to 12:30 lunch break in where you and your coworkers get and talk with each other. What we've learned about Zoom, people, I'm a therapist, and in the beginning, and you can see I have this non-young face, I was very rigid. This is all about flexibility and adaptability this COVID time. Darwin, it wasn't survival of the fittest. It really was survival of the connected and the nurtured. And in the beginning, it was like, oh, I can't do therapy, teletherapy. Oh, this is going to be terrible. You're not going to be able to connect. But you know, I was wrong. You can. And actually, my clients are telling me they like the telehealth. They feel safer at home. They don't have to go in a car, waste the time in the traffic, and they feel just as connected as before or even better. Now, what I have learned, and hopefully I'm doing that, is that on Zoom, you do have to exaggerate a little bit some of your facial expressions or your gestures. You don't want to be in their face like this on the camera. You want to be a little bit back, just like in the office, if there was a little bit of sitting back from that person, so the person can feel comfortable. You have to get, I did get some blue light glasses here because it is very draining to keep that much concentration throughout the day. So if you're feeling exhausted, it's normal, but it will get better as you get used to it, and you can connect with those people. You can do Zumba, you can do yoga. It doesn't have to be the happy hour as the socialization with friends. It can be other types of things. Please, please, please get enough sleep. I have an acronym for this. Every day, I want you to take your meds. M is meditation, E is exercise, D is diet, and S is sleep. Our sleep cycle is totally disrupted. Usually you get up at a certain time, you shower, you get dressed for work, you wash your teeth. Do those things, okay? Get dressed for work. Don't have day jammies and night jammies, okay? Go to sleep at the same time. People are sleeping in because they don't have to travel and their whole circadian rhythm is getting off whack. Well, that's okay if you want to get up a little bit later because you can, because you don't have a 2-hour commute. But just make sure that you have that time built in. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Don't be watching the news in your bedroom. Make your bed the place that you have for sleep. Do keep good physical hygiene. Like I said, oh, I'm going to put on here. You'll probably be able to hear me better. I apologize. I'm going to put this on. Okay. Now I did do my hair, but however, in this new virtual world, I notice I only have to do the front of my hair. I don't have to do the back of my hair, okay? And now I have these wonderful, can you guys all hear me? If you can't, let me know. Unmute yourself and let me know if you can't hear me. But I have now these wonderful earphones to talk with you from, okay? And exercise. Exercise is one of the best things that you can do for physical and mental health. Exercise works the same way as Prozac, as antidepressants. They cause neurons to grow and to regenerate, which causes more serotonin, nature's happy juice, in your brain. So exercise long-term takes about 3 weeks. Same thing for Prozac as well, because it takes a while for those neurons to form. There's the short-term benefit of endorphins that are getting into your body that help you feel good and help you feel calm, but there's also a long-term benefit. So that's in my meds thing. I'm going to stop sharing for a second here. Oops. Okay. No, I can't. There we go. Take care of yourself, as I said. Wash your hands regularly. We know that from the COVID. Do put in the routine of continuing any treatments and medications. If you used to do yoga, you can't do yoga at the yoga studio, but there are virtual and online yoga things that you can do. Call your doctor, of course, if you're experiencing any symptoms of COVID-19. And create a productive workspace. Don't be working from the bedroom, the bathroom, the spare bedroom, the pool table, the coffee table, the dining room table, the office. If possible, have a designated room. If not, designate a corner. Try to use a place, as I said, with natural light. It gives you vitamin D. It's good for you. Use a comfortable chair. And if you can, get 2 comfortable chairs and rotate. Make sure that you have the right technology to get your job done. This is a time of a little anxiety, which is good because it keeps us focused and it keeps us productive and it keeps us problem solving. So for example, when everybody came home at my house, the internet was unstable. So we had to designate a routine when I would see my clients or my husband or my daughter would be on the internet to where we wouldn't all be using at the same time. So we had enough bandwidth. Also, I had to bite the bullet because it's really important right now for me to be on Zoom and to not lose connectivity and to not freeze. We have Frontier, took them a week to get out here, but we did increase our Wi-Fi. Sit next to your Wi-Fi, okay, or to your router, because that will increase your productivity. If not only do you need more bandwidth, you might look at getting an Orbi or something like that from Costco. It's a couple of $100 because it just does expand the possibilities of good internet throughout your whole house or even in the garage. My husband has gone and done Zooms in the car, in the garage, so we have to be creative. So I said, don't spread your work out throughout the house. Try and keep that home and work life separate. Get dressed, put your makeup on, keep your routines, and stop at 5 o'clock. Change the atmosphere in the house. Move to a different part of the house. Light a candle. Burn some incense. Start some music. Do something. Go outside. Get some fresh air. Take a walk. And build it in consistency. We all have smartphones. We all have an alert system. Put it in there for something that you can do. Do start the day with positive thoughts. Every morning, I want you to say when you wake up, today is going to be a great day. Not a perfect day, not a non-stressful day, but it's going to be a great day. That orients your brain to the default of positivity throughout the day. I don't know if any of you have had any kind of pain issue or chronic pain, but I was running and I tweaked my knee. And in the morning, when I would wake up, my first thought was, does my knee hurt? Does my knee hurt? Goes right to the pain. Well, what we teach people to do is to refocus, because 90% of my body's just feeling great. And if there is any pain, what will decrease the pain in your body is to start with my other knee and notice how good it feels. And then maybe my feet, and then maybe my leg, and then maybe my arms, and then maybe my head. So I'm focusing on that 90% of everything that's working well. You might want to start the day with gratitude. 3 things that you are grateful for. And at the end of the day, 3 things that you are grateful for before you go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, if you can orient your brain to 3 things that went well that day, it will help you to have good dreams. And what I am going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to see. Yes, time to revisit Stephen Covey's books. Okay, are there any questions? Anybody want to raise their hand or make any comments at this particular time? Okay, you guys are with me up to here. Are we having fun yet? Got to learn something and have fun. Books. Okay. Stress management books or books, meditation videos. Oh, I like John Kabat-Zinn. Could you, Maria, let me know what specific books you'd like me to recommend. There is something called Stones of Remembrance. It used to be on Amazon free by Dr. Daniel Amen. He was giving it out for the pandemic. And if you are a spiritual person, it has little quotes in it that you can direct yourself to for anxiety, for depression, and things like that. They are spiritual based. So if that's something that you believe in, that's kind of a good thing. As I said, John Kabat-Zinn is wonderful. Anything by Tara Brach, okay, B-R-A-C-H. Jack Cornfield, those are names that are pretty good. If you go on YouTube and you just look at meditation videos for yourself or for kids. We live too much in the brain, okay, too much up here and thinking. And this is about going down and focusing on the body. And I will look at, it's Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is where he talks about an emotional bank account. Okay. All right, I'll go back to sharing my screen. Okie dokie. All righty. Okay, stay connected to your team. To answer that one question that you guys had, do schedule virtual breaks with your team. Utilize that video conference, okay, for meetings. Instead of sending emails, call somebody. Let them know when you're away from your desk, or inform them that you may be delayed if you can't get back to them. I will say on my cell phone, for example, I am in meetings until 11 o'clock. I will return phone calls between 11 and 12 and between 4 and 5. So plan a way to stay connected with people. 90% of this brain is wired for connection. We are mammals. Did you know that? We travel in tribes and herds. And with this era of social distancing and staying 6 feet away from people, ooh, it's terrible for us because we cannot connect. So we have to be creative about connecting. On our Zoom, on our phone, who are the people that we want to stay connected with? Don't just email, call, do a face-to-face. And as I said, do video conference for meetings. There's too many emails, too much new technology. There's too much complexity going on right now. There's a learning curve for all of us with Zoom, with schedule change, with keeping up with PPEs, with keeping up of when's the curfew, what am I supposed to do next? There's too much. So therefore, we're going to change the world, right? Well, no, we can't manage the complexity outside. So what we have to do is manage our capacity to handle the complexity, which comes with doing self-care. Take your meds. Let people know that you what your work from home weaknesses are, okay? And fix them or not even weaknesses, but what your limits are, what you're able to say no for. After 5 o'clock, between 5 and 7, that's my dinner hour. I'm not returning any messages or phone calls, okay? Let your managers know what you can and can get done, given the limitations and the changes with juggling childcare, kids at home, whatever it is. Be realistic about your expectations. When you, believe it or not, and I'm ADD, I used to think, oh, I can multitask, but that's not really true. Because when you take your brain away from something, you lose your focus and it's that much harder to bring it back, okay? So you might want to eliminate distractions from music or something when you are focused on getting a project done or something like that. But later, give your brain a break. Do play some music, do an audiobook. Do a to-do list. Break up your work so you don't get burned out. You have to take more breaks. I do a training. I train people in EMDR, which is a therapy for trauma. We used to do it in person. We used to have a 3-hour block. I have been telling people, no, you cannot keep people 3 hours, okay, in a lecture hall. We're going to give longer breaks so they can do the wiggles and they can do some of that stuff, okay? Take similar tasks together for productivity. Do a chunk of emails, okay? Make phone calls, because it keeps you focused in that one vein instead of getting distracted from a phone call to an email to type a report. Turn off social media and the phone during work hours. Put it over there. Eliminate those distractions so you can stay more focused and get work done. I had to put a sign on the door when I was working, I'll be out at 10:50, so that kids, family members wouldn't just knock. They knock and barge in. Had to put a sign, I am working. Please don't disrupt me because I get distracted. If you do get stressed out, burnt out, we don't want to get to burnout, okay? These are signs that you're there. You get a reduced sense of accomplishment, headaches, fatigue, lowered resiliency. You can read those things. Sleep is one of the first things to go. Have difficulty sleeping, either getting asleep, waking up in the middle, or difficulty going back to sleep. Advanced stages, if you don't take care of it, noticing it ahead of time, which is just doing deposits of self-care. Social withdrawal, depersonalization, cynicism. Depersonalization is you don't feel like you're in your body. You're just kind of going through the motions, but you're kind of not there. It's kind of an out-of-body experiences. We're all tired from Zooming and from change. You say, gee, I didn't lift a finger today. I sat in a chair. How come I'm so exhausted? The mental energy of sitting in front of the screen, the blue light, the managing all the complexity and the newness of change is exhausting. Irritability, low energy, not feeling appreciated. These are signs. So do focus on your important work. Avoid the busy work. Don't work outside of designated work hours. You really do need to put deposits in that emotional bank account or you will burn out. Focus your effort on work-life balance. As I said, manage your work, make time to relax. AA says, probably have heard of this, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Doesn't mean that you're an alcoholic if you know that saying. It came out of AA because people were always trying to manage somebody else's drinking or drugging, and you can't. The only person's drinking and drugging you can manage is yours and your response to what other people are doing. Sometimes our responses are governed by past expectations. We can change our perception of that tension in my stomach, that little irritability, and what's going on from gloom and doom to it is what it is, and to use that excitement of change or that stress to move us out of crisis. There often comes great creativity and great opportunity. I was on an airplane out of Orange County, and as you probably know, there's a number of wealthy people in Orange County, and they live over like in the Newport Beach area by the Orange County Airport, and they have a curfew for noise, and you can only fly in certain hours at night, not too late. And in addition to that curfew for noise, when you take off, the plane kind of goes up at an angle like this, woo, instead of gradually like it does at LAX. And as a result of that, you get this little woo in your tummy, in your body. Well, I was on the plane and there was a lady and she was like white knuckling, okay, as the plane went up. My guess was that she interpreted whatever that was of that little woo-woo as the plane goes up fast in your belly, you know?
as something negative, and she was thinking, I'm in danger. There was we have something else in Orange County, not open right now, but soon, called the Mouse House, Disneyland. It's a little boy, had Mickey Mouse ears, kind of like mine here. He says, Mom, this is better than Space Mountain. When they got off that plane in Sacramento, there was 2 different stories about that plane ride. Which one was right? That little woo, woo, woo didn't cause fear, and it didn't cause happiness. His background was that woo, woo, woo meant a ride, and this was fun. I don't know what her past was, but it wasn't that. But whatever it is, we can change it. Okay? We can pay attention to the stories that we're telling ourselves in our head. Are they gloom and doom? I'm going to give you a tip. Never, ever answer a what if question. What if questions are always about the future. They're always Stephen King, and they're always gloom and doom. So I'm guessing the lady was white knuckling and thinking, what if the plane crashes? What if the landing gear breaks down? What if a bird flies in? Each one of those scary thoughts causes adrenaline to our heart. Heart beats fast. It activates our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight system, because all systems in the body have a purpose. The digestive system is to take in nutrients, get rid of the stuff we don't need. The brain is designed to take in information, take in the stuff that's important, get rid of the stuff we don't need. The stuff we don't need is the fear, the body sensation, the emotion. Okay? So what if leads to scary stuff? Instead say, I'll handle it. Whatever it is, I'll handle it. Or let's think about what else could happen. I could make it to New York and see my niece get married. I could make it to New York and go to a play. Not what if I get the COVID, but what else could happen? 90% of the, 99% of the people, 98% of the people, I think, don't get it. I'm fine right now. You bring yourself into the present. And don't woulda, coulda, shoulda about the past. Can't unhappen. Bring yourself back into the present and take a slow, deep breath. So change your perceptions, as this is an exciting time. Like, why do I have to learn this? How come it's in the funeral? Ooh, okay. Let's reframe it as this is a time that I can be computer literate. Took the pandemic. This is a way that I can connect with family and friends. As I said, it is what it is, okay? We are in a pandemic. We are in a lockdown. We are having to work from home. But find a sense of purpose and meaning, and take pleasure in the small joys. Look at the sunset that you can see. Okay, look at this beautiful, bright, sunny day that we have. Be grateful about the chair that you have. Be grateful about the computer that you have. Be grateful about the internet that you have. And take an active approach, some me time, some downtime, to think about how you want to change your life in a positive direction. Be mindful about that. Keep learning. I don't know what they did. I'm old, but I wasn't around in the influenza epidemic before they had the internet. But you can learn the guitar, you can learn Spanish, you can learn how to knit, you can do Tai Chi, you can do all of that stuff on the internet. Find something that gives you purpose and learning. There's going to be a lot of change. It's uncomfortable, okay? But you can do it. You can manage your feelings of discomfort by doing these stress management and self-care strategies. Reading is good. Playing with a pet. If you put your head on your cat or your dog's on their chest, they breathe naturally. Our breathing will get in synchronicity with that and will help calm us down. If you have an employee assistance program, the counseling team, call for a virtual therapy session, an in-person session. Talking, therapy does mean talking cure. When we talk, we get out of our fear brain and we get into our logical brain. Meditate and mindfulness is so, so important, okay? I'm going to get to that in the end. Do show empathy for others. Be available to your team and stay connected. Encourage online trainings like this. Do recognize that I am lonely as an impact of social distancing and isolation. And I'm going to take responsibility for finding how to connect with different groups. AA is online, Overeaters Anonymous is on, there's grief groups online, there's groups for kids online, okay? Reach out to family and friends, chaplain, spiritual counselor, peer support, mental health professionals, if you feel that you are losing it. Okay, I'm going to take you off of screen share here and answer some of those questions. Okay. Stones of Remembrance is the book of by Daniel Amen. It is on Amazon. That's right. Stones of Remembrance. To-do lists are my lifesaver. Can you get a copy of the slides? Yes, you may. Email the counseling team. Yes. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about sleep. Would that be okay with you guys? Okay. Sleep is disrupted naturally by what has been going on. Epsom salts. You can take an Epsom salts bath, warm. As far as I know, they aren't running out of Epsom salts like they are toilet paper earlier at the grocery store. Epsom salts has magnesium in it. Doctors say that we are deficient in magnesium. So if you take an Epsom salts bath, the best way to get magnesium is absorption through your skin. It will absorb, it's a natural muscle relaxant, and it helps calm you down. So if you can do that, that's a good thing. There are over-the-counter medications, Calm, sometimes that has magnesium in it. Sometimes doctors recommend magnesium. The only difference, please just ask your doctor, because everybody's body absorbs magnesium differently. Best way is through the skin, but if you take it orally, some people need 2 pills to get a reaction. Some people need 1 pill. That's not my area of expertise, but sometimes you have to adjust the number of milligrams if you were to buy magnesium and how many pills to take. So check with your doctor, nutritionist, they'll help you out with that. The other thing with sleep is go to bed at the same time. If you can be in a cool room, that's very good. If you can get some little, if you have blackout curtains, great. If not, if you get those little masks that you can put on so that you have total darkness, because light, it is summer. We have more light, which is a good thing during the day, but light is what wakes us up. Don't eat a big meal 3 hours before you go to bed. If you can, have 0 blood alcohol level before you go to bed, which is generally stop drinking, because it depends on how much you drink, but 3 hours before you go to bed. Because what happens, although alcohol is a depressant and it initially makes you fall asleep, when it wears off, like 2 o'clock in the morning, your brain craves more sugar and it wakes up wanting you to have another drink or more sugar, okay? And it interferes with rapid eye movement, REM sleep, which is necessary for your health, okay? For you to process the information that happened during the day and for you to wake up refreshed in the morning. Also, be aware if you snore. Be aware if you may have sleep apnea. And see your doctor. Real easy to get a machine to do a sleep test overnight and see if you're waking up during the night to go to the bathroom. A lot of people say, oh, that's got to do with my kidneys or my bladder. But no, what it is it really is when you can't breathe, you urinate a little bit, it wakes you up and you think you have to go to the bathroom. When you have sleep apnea, what happens is your tongue, usually if we're a little overweight, it happens, or with aging, everything, gravity brings it back down. But our tongue goes into the back of our throat and prevents us from breathing. Now, why is that bad? Well, because you die. So you can't breathe. So your lungs send a message to the brain. They say, brain, the guy's dying, can't breathe. Brain says, what the heck you want me to do about it? And then our ever wonderful, beautiful brain says, oh yeah, I I know, adrenaline, that wonderful, powerful chemical. Give him a shot of adrenaline. Wakes up. Oh, that's not very good 30, 40 times a night. Okay, it does build plaque in your arteries, heart problems, Alzheimer's, and there's a cure. It's air, just air. See about getting a machine or something like that. Find yourself snoring, waking up intermittently at night. Doesn't hurt to get a sleep test. And the other thing is, it prevents us from going into the deep sleep. We have rapid eye movement sleep and we have slow wave sleep. And you have to get into slow wave sleep because when you do, your respiration slows down, your lymph nodes come online. And if you've ever woken up in the morning with a little inflammation, a little sore, maybe a little brain fog, it's because you have a dirty brain. Because your lymph nodes come online and your brain gets a shower. And all the toxins and the inflammatories that built up during the day get flushed out when you wake up in the morning with your kidneys, your liver, intestines. Whoo, that's a good thing. So sleep really impairs cognitive functioning, physical and mental health, heart health, and brain health. Okay? So you want to be able to get both that slow wave sleep and that REM sleep. So check that out. Other things that you can do is lavender oils, essential oils. It's not woo-woo. They go right to senses, go right to the amygdala, the emotional center of our brain, and help calm us down. First Responders Headspace is an app that's free for meditation right now during the COVID. There's also the Calm app. There's other apps. I strongly urge you to breathe. Okay? She uses Amazon's Prime Meditation Channel 2. Amazon has magnesium sprays. Okay, yes, sleep. Okay, so do some essential oils before you go to sleep. You can put them on your wrist, smell them, get one of those diffusers that diffuse it. That's something that can calm your brain. Do a meditation. Have your brain oriented towards that sleep cycle. These are all things that will help you to sleep. The other thing is if you get woken up in the middle of the night, which sometimes happens, orient your brain, because everything goes up to the top of your brain and your thinking and your worry part. Take your brain and do a body scan. Look at your toes. Look at your ankles. Look at your feet. Look at your legs and kind of mentally focus to get you in your body that will help you calm down. I'm going to give you a couple of breathing exercises. When you go to sleep, if you lay in bed and you put your hands up over like this and you breathe, you can't help but breathe into your belly. All right? Too many of us breathe just into our chest. Breathing is one of the best things that you can do for anxiety. It doesn't cost any money. You always have it with you. And we have an automatic or autonomic nervous system with a sympathetic, fight or flight, parasympathetic, rest and digest. When you breathe into that belly, you can hack into your nervous system. You can trick it. You can make it calm down because that's where the vagus nerve is. They call it the wandering nerve. It goes all throughout your entire body, ends up there. And 80% of the information goes back up to the brain and says, oh my God, we're relaxed, we're calm. The lion's gone, it's good. So when you find yourself getting in your head, worrying, what if, direct yourself to each part of your body, get in your body, and then do a breathing exercise. I'm going to do one now for you. We can all do it together and end. It's called Heart Math, M-A-T-H. It's called the Quick Coherence Technique. It has 3 steps. You can also YouTube it, find it online. What I want you to do is just kind of get comfortable. Take a couple of regular breaths. Number 1, I want you to focus visually on that area of your body where you imagine your heart is located. And then I want you to take a couple breaths in and out at your regular pace, as if you were breathing in and out through your heart. And now as you focus on your heart and that breath going in and out, I'm going to be quiet for a minute. And I want you to think about a heartfelt emotion like love, gratitude, appreciation. And I want you to think about the people, places, and things in your life that you love, appreciate, and feel grateful for. Okay, come back to the room. And hopefully that you felt yourself kind of go down. That does increase HRV, heart rate variability, which is the nice sine waves, electrical connection between your brain and your heart, opens up your ability to think clearer. I do encourage you to get a mindfulness or a meditation practice, because once we take what causes anxiety is that little hamster wheel in the head going over all of those scary thoughts, those what ifs and woulda, coulda, shoulda. What you do is you stop and you breathe, and then you get into your body. One of the best ways is breathing. There's another technique, it's called paced breathing. And if you inhale for 4, hold for 6, and then exhale slowly through pursed lips, through a straw for kind of 8. You don't have to just do 4, 6, 8. Everybody's lung capacity is different. The important part is that you inhale through your nose and you exhale through your mouth, and the exhale is longer than the inhale because it recalibrates your physiology, gets you in your body. You can say the words to yourself, inhale. You can say the words to yourself, exhale, as you notice your breath going in and out. Mindfulness is taking your 5 senses and paying attention to it. If I were to take a raisin, I would look at it and I would describe it non-judgmentally. It's brown, it has a curve here. All right, I would move it and see if it makes any noise as it squishes and just describe it crunchy. I would put it up to my nose, I would see, does it have a smell? I would feel it in my hand, the ridges or whatever, okay? And then I would taste it. I would put it in my mouth and just describe it one chew at a time. If I chew on the front of my mouth, is it different than a chew on the back of my mouth? My intention to have it go down into my body, that's called mindful eating with each bite. And it helps to calm us down. Evolutionarily, we're bad, okay? We're designed for caveman days. We haven't caught up with the new stresses of where things go over and over and over in our brain. We were designed for homeostasis. There's a book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. The lion comes, you run, you outrun him, he's gone. Now I'm eating on the savannah. It's over. We go back from fight or flight into rest and digest. But our brains don't know what's real or imagined danger. And so we keep saying those what ifs that keeps that adrenaline going and stresses us out and gets that chronic stress, which is bad. So when you feel your brain get taken away by worries about whatever, pandemic or social injustice or what, take that breath, stop, breathe, get into your body and do one of these. It's also good to have a mantra such as peace that you orient yourself with during the day. There's tactical breathing or 4-square breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, that you might know. Because I work with law enforcement. You know, if you work with law enforcement, you can't call that 4-square breathing, because I learned you throw tactical in front of them, they'll do it. So I'll call it tactical breathing. But what I do with that is I will put a mantra, a word at the end of the day before I go to sleep. I say love, 2, 3, 4. I think, did I love today? I say live, 2, 3, 4. Did I live? My other word is connect. Did I connect today? 2, 3, 4. And did I serve? And who have I served today? And in the morning, I also do that so that I can make an intention to have that happen. Thank you. It's lovely to connect with you and see you and all the stresses that you are going through, but I think we are going to be better. Compassion comes out of this. We're able to feel our emotions and move forward to have new routines of self-care. If you need to exercise more, if you need to sleep more, to make it in your routine to do that. Any other questions you want to type in or unmute yourself? Good, I'm glad you like the silence meditating. And in my new world of Zoom, I'm on budget and it's 11 and we're done. So I hope to see you again sometime. I'm Dr. Deb Silverian with the counseling team. Do use us. Do use us. We care about you because it really is matters of the heart. Love really is the answer. Corny, but it is. So thank you. Thank you.